Hello and welcome to a new series. Today we are starting the series of Wasted Potential. Now, this is where I go into movies, TV shows, franchises, all that sort of stuff. Grab some characters that I believe had the most potential that weren't utilised to their full potential, basically. So, yeah, so we're basically going to go into there. And today's topic is the MCU. Now, I've got 5 characters from the MCU that I do believe had absolutely godly amount of potential. That could have been great, really great villains, but fell way short. Had a lot of potential, but didn't quite live up. So, you know what? Without me talking too much now and rambling on about this, let's just get right into it. Number 5, the Mandarin. Look, I know we're going to see the Mandarin in Shang-Li, the new film that's going to come out. We're going to see more of the Mandarin there. But, I mean, you get Ben Kingsley, who is really, really good as the Mandarin. Like, he looks the part, he looks perfect. And I tell you what, the first bit of Iron Man 3, the first half is absolutely phenomenal with him as the main villain. You're looking at it and you're like, yes, this is what we wanted. We wanted the Mandarin just like this. This is everything we wanted. Tony's arch nemesis. We wanted all this, and turns out it wasn't the Mandarin, it was just an actor. For the potential for him to be a fantastic villain was so close to being in the top 5 villains of all time. Like, that first bit is absolutely phenomenal, and when that twist happened, it let all the fans down. I mean, how can you have someone who is such a big thing in the comics, who has all this potential to be Tony's big arch rival in his final film, in Iron Man 3, the one that really tests Tony to the complete, utter, like, boundaries he can go as Iron Man, as Tony Stark, and unfortunately we didn't get to see the Mandarin come to fruition as we all expected and wanted to see. They showed us it and we were all for it, but unfortunately, to me, the Mandarin just fell short of reaching his full potential by not actually being the Mandarin. And Mandarin, for me, number 5 is wasted potential. Could have been absolutely phenomenal. Number 4, Malekith. Now, Thor Dark World's not a very good film. Well, it is good, but it's not like... It's not good in MCU's term, but it's still a decent film. But Malekith, the Dark Elves, so much potential. Like, this could have been absolutely freaking fantastic. Malekith could have been that villain that started to push Thor to the brink of his powers, to the brink of his abilities, how much he can really do. This could have been the whole transition for Thor to take over Odin and become, you know, Asgard's ruler. This was his chance. Malekith turned out to be a bland, boring character. No motive, no nothing. It was kind of just like he was there. Just there. I mean, are you serious? Like, you had this Dark Elf storyline that is so good. The lore started off so well. These elves that want to bring the universe into darkness sound so cool. But then you start meeting him and you're like, dude, this guy's got no motive. He's got nothing. Like, why is he doing this? No, there's no reason. He's bland. He's boring. No one cares. The potential for Malekith to be one of these great villains was there. You give him a good motive. Look, what's his motive? Look, Asgard has ruled too long. Odin put me into this dark sleep, whatever he was. And you know what? I've had enough of this. This is our chance to take over. This is our chance to really bring about the era of the Dark Elves that rule over the 9 realms. That could have been it. Malekith wanted the throne. He wanted to destroy Odin for what Odin did, but it turns out he had to fight Thor instead. There was so much that you could have done with Malekith that unfortunately fell so short of what his potential could have been and what the storyline the Dark Elves could have played in the Thor character and evolving his story so on. Because realistically, from the first Thor, you see the character development, and then Thor 2 sort of comes in and it sort of stores his character in a way. And then you get to Ragnarok, where his character excels again in more character development, and then Infinity War, and so on and so on. But this could have been that climactic one where it brings Loki and Thor fully together. And for me, Malekith fell short. The Dark Elves and Malekith fell very short of their potential, what they could have been. Number 3, Red Skull. Look, I love Captain America, but I do think the Red Skull was a bit of wasted potential. He's a good villain. He is a good villain. But the only problem is we didn't get enough of him. The Red Skull had plenty to him that after he got vapped off into space by the Space Stone, by the Tesseract, it would have been cool to see him return with a new motive. Look, I've been out there busting my freaking ass and he's come back, and he could have been another central villain to Captain America or the Avengers as well. That would have been pretty cool. He could have come back and been that villain. But we didn't get that. I didn't think we got enough Red Skull in Captain America First Avenger as well. We didn't see enough of the hand-to-hand combat, what he's actually capable of. We didn't see enough of that, in my opinion. There's so much potential in the comics and everything else with Red Skull. He is one of those freaking fantastic villains that's always there, that's a pain, that is just there with some great character to him, some great motives, but unfortunately he didn't translate to the screen as well, and his motives and that were there, but they weren't strong enough in my opinion, and I think Red Skull was let down. I think he could have had the potential to be in that top tier with a Thanos, with a Killmonger, with a Zemo, with a Hela. You know, he could have been in those categories with those villains, but unfortunately, to me, Red Skull fell short of his potential, and I think having him just sit out there in the wasteland, being the protector of the Soul Stone, is a bit of a waste, in my opinion. It's a bit of a waste. I mean, he could have even gone out, like when he's sent out there, could have met Thanos, and then Thanos could have used him to do some stuff. I mean, but unfortunately for me, I think he's a bit of wasted potential as well. He didn't live up to his potential as well. Number 2, Ronan the Accuser. Look, to me, I really like the Ronan character. I mean, I like the look of him. We got, what, fucking one snippet, basically, of him in Captain Marvel. In Guardians, he had some character to him, he had some layers, but he didn't have enough. He didn't have enough motive in that. He was kind of just the puppet. I mean, he was just, yeah, the puppet. And Thanos was pulling the strings, basically. And Ronan could have been one of these top tier villains. He could have been the big bad villain for the Guardians and Captain Marvel. That could have been him, where he looked like he could have been the villain of Captain Marvel, and you could have seen him, as he loses to Captain Marvel, move over to the Guardians, where he's like, right, you know what, I'm leaving the Kree. Thanos wants me to work with him. I'm going to work with Thanos, and then have his like motive of like, I'm using Thanos because Thanos knows where the certain stones are, and that the idea is to use Thanos to collect the stones for myself. That could have been his motive behind everything. Give him a bit more layers. Why? Who is he? Why is he doing what he wants to do? He didn't have that. There's so much potential for him to be a galactic threat with the Kree on his side to invade things and just be a complete and utter badass. But unfortunately, again, another waste of potential. Ronan could have been such a great villain, but unfortunately he fell short just like the other ones. Number 1, Ultron. Look, I love the Ultron character. I thought the Ultron character was great. The more I watch Age of Ultron, the more I fall in love with it. The more I fall in love with the Ultron character as well. Look, this is the guy that is created by Tony Stark. So he has motive. He doesn't like Tony Stark or anything like that. He thinks the humans are actually the problem. We are the problem to the Earth, and in order to cleanse the Earth, you need to, you know, execute extinction, basically, extinction level event to get rid of us. My only problem with Ultron is, I believe Ultron is one of those villains that needed 2 movies. I think he was all jammed into one. I think you need to space him out in one movie. You see him, how he's built, like we did in Age of Ultron, and you start to see him learns more about the humans. Why is his motives turning that? As he slowly learns, look, humans are doing this and that and that, and then he starts seeing Tony. Tony wants to do this, but really, the Avengers are actually causing more damage than good. Then you see him start to turn, and then you get the twist where he turns in the 3rd act of that movie. And then you see the Avengers, and they basically fight him. And then you move into the 2nd one, where Ultron is now, he's moving his plan forward. He's like, okay, I need to make an extinction level event. I need to get rid of the humans. I need to recruit this, and that. And then you see that progression go through and through and through. I just think it was all crammed in, rushed, and just Ultron was just made like that, and his motives were just there straight away, which I would have liked to see in a transition go, and it would have given him more development, and we would have been more sympathetic with him and understood Ultron a lot better. That's why Thanos is so good, because you see the first film is all about him. Why is he doing it? What is his motive? Like, his plan. How is he going to execute it? You see all that level, that layers to this character in the first one, in Infinity War, and then boom, the snap happens. Then the second one, you don't have to focus on him as much, which is what they did in Endgame. They don't really focus on him because they've done that in that first film, and then you just have the big bad fight. You know, he's fulfilled his destiny, that Thanos, and the next one comes in. Ultron could have been the same, you do that, and then as Ultron is out there causing havoc, the Avengers then have to band together to stop Ultron. That could have been it. Ultron had the potential to be the best villain in the MCU. In the comics, he is one of those villains that is just an arch enemy of, and an arch rival of the Avengers, and he had the potential to do that, but unfortunately we only got one movie with him, and I think stretching him out to 2 movies could have made him a 10 times better villain and a better character that more people would have loved. So there you have it. That's my 5 wasted potential, not most potential, wasted potential for the MCU. I'm going to do some more wasted potential ones as well. So, you know, DC films, TV shows, all sorts of stuff. So look out for these, and thank you for joining me. Give us a like. Give us a like. Thumbs up. You know, I'm just, mine's gone. It's been hectic already. It's just been hectic, this lockdown. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.